new webcam.
God, you already got your food.
Ugh. I need somewhere to put my feet. Oh, so cute.
I feel like you were gonna say more there.
Well, I was, but then I realized it was already live. I was gonna use my Claude voice. Come here. No. Hey. Come here. Come on. Oh, I have such a headache. It's what she does. I'm hoping the internet is working. Okay, yeah, I think I was like frozen or something. All of a sudden, everyone popped in. Hi, everybody. Your grandma says hello. Yeah, but I was using my phone upstairs and the Wi-Fi was acting weird earlier.
Yeah, that's because the access point's downstairs. Yeah.
Okay. But then I turned off the Wi-Fi to try to see if it would work. And the service wasn't working either. So I don't know. I just was worried that it was going to be. And it was acting weird when I first just logged on. Hi, everybody. Ian, come say hello. Your grandma says hi.
Hello.
You have to look in the camera. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hi, Nikki. We'll start with the weather like we always do. This morning was kind of crazy. It started, it was like flurrying when I left for work, and I was thinking, oh, I think this is the first time it's snowed, or at least the first time that I'd seen it snowing a little bit. And then by the time I got on the highway, it was like coming down like a little blizzard, but it didn't stick or anything, so it's kind of like not a rough ride into work, but it was not the best with all the snow. The visibility wasn't that good, but it's all gone now. How was the day for everyone else? Cold? Cold here, but frosty. Very frosty this AM, but raining now. Oh yeah, it switched over. Maybe it'll switch back if it's, during the night. I don't know how long I'm going to last today. I have a pretty nasty headache from work. I've been on the computer since like 8 a.m. So, we'll see. My eyes are kind of like bothering me. Cold there. Hello. Oh, you haven't seen any of the new diaries? So how about I'll catch you up before we get started. I have to open this anyway. So, we're calling them the Slippy Diaries. Oh, this is not the document that I want. Hold on. We're calling them the Slippy Diaries because they were written by a man named Ralph Slippy and his wife, Georgiana Newton. This first diary that we're reading is actually a Newton diary because it was written before they got married in 1895. But just for keeping things simple, I'm calling them the Slippy Diaries because eventually they're both Slippies anyways. So, Mr. Slippy here, Ralph, becomes the mayor of the town that Georgiana lives in right now, eventually. Right now, they're not married yet. It's unclear if they even know each other yet, but we have a set of diaries from them from 1895 to about 1907, like sporadically. It's not every single year. Oh, really? You're from right by Waterloo? Kelsey, we might have to use you as a spy in the area, because I've got some places like where these people lived that I'd love to get pictures of. If you're willing to do that, that would be awesome. I actually, when I read the Weatherman Diaries, I'm not sure if you watched that one, but it was another Iowa family, and they lived in Fairfax, Iowa, which is like a really small town, but it's not too far from that area. I wonder if you're near there. It's near Cedar Rapids, and a couple of followers went out there and took pictures for me, and it was awesome because I live like all the way across the country. You're near there too? That's awesome. Is this the first time you're seeing this? Like, did you just see this on For You page, or have you been with us for a little while? The first time seeing this and I mentioned your hometown or right near your hometown, that's funny. That happens a lot to people, actually. They come on and they're like, wait a second, what are you talking about? I just randomly found this video and now you're on my street. So I can show you, these people are from Waterloo. We've only just started reading this series, so we don't know too much about them, but we have like some places that we know. I have some pictures, some old maps of Waterloo. This is from, I think this is from around the time that the diary was written, maybe a little bit earlier. And then I found some old like panorama shots of Waterloo, because I always like to see what the places and the people looked like from the diaries. So here's some historic photos of your area. But she lived on, I don't know how well you know Waterloo. I don't know it well at all, but her school was this school here, East Side High School. I think now it's called East High School, and it's a different building because this one burned down. But you might recognize the name East High School, I'm not sure. But she lived on Mulberry Street, which I think is nearby to there. And actually, I had seen it on this map, but I can't see it now. I wonder if I go here, if I can make it bigger. I can't zoom in on that. Yeah, I think so. So, let's see. It was one of these streets, Mulberry. So she lived on this street during the diary, and it looks like this is a high school. So I wonder if that's where her school was. It seems like she walked to school, so it makes sense that she was so close. But yeah, I mean, if you are willing, please send me some pictures. We'd love to see it, and I'll give you credit. I would love to know if any of the buildings that she visited are still standing. She hasn't mentioned too much. She was visiting LaPorte City, too. You might know that one. To go visit her uncle. This is a picture of her Uncle Dan's farm. Her great-uncle, but she calls him Uncle Dan. And we did find, this was awesome, last week. We found pictures of Uncle Dan and Aunt Adeline. I know, it is funny. I'm, like, laughing for you. That's funny. Hey, cold, raw air here in Detroit. Oh, cold and raw. I hate that. I was telling everyone today it snowed. Which, of course, it didn't snow before. Like, I didn't wake up to a nice white snow on the ground. It didn't snow when I could look at it out my window in the classroom. No, it snowed on my way to work when it's the most inconvenient, and then it stopped. Whatever. Okay, so that's a little recap. We don't really have much else to recap because we don't know much about these people. We unfortunately don't have a picture of Georgiana yet. She goes by Georgia, it seems. But hopefully we'll find one soon. And we've had some, let me open up, I'm going to leave this open because we might need to look at it later. But I'm going to open up the actual typed out diary so far because there are some pictures in there that aren't in the other one. Like, here's her high school. That you saw that already, but I put some pictures of the places and the things mentioned. So they talked about the opening of a firehouse in Waterloo. I wonder if that is still there. It might be. We found, oh, this was, she wrote a biography in school about Louisa May Alcott, so I stuck a picture in there. And then we've got some articles that I haven't organized at all, but yeah. So she talks about a lot of people, but she does a lot of the initials, so she doesn't give us many full names. So we'll just have to see. We've noticed as we've gone on that there have been patterns now, because we're a few months into the diary. So we're starting to notice certain people are mentioned together often, or certain people are just mentioned more often than others. And that's how we figured out who Uncle Dan was. And you know what? While I'm at it, I'll open up the ancestry tree. Erin put this together, and we've all been working to add to it. So we have, there's Uncle Dan, Great Uncle Dan, and Aunt Adeline. She calls her Aunt Ads. And then here is Georgiana. So as you can see, that's her mother, her grandmother. It's her grandmother's sister and brother. So great aunt and uncle. All right. So I guess I'll pop back to the diary. So what we do is I took pictures of the month that we're going to read today, and then we just type out the words, and then if anything stands out to us, we look it up. So the question, how old was Angus during the diary? This is not Anglesy's diary, but Anglesy was 17 in her diary. This is the one this question is talking about. I have it out, so I might as well grab it. So this diary was the one that was the first that I read, the first that I started sharing, and she's really interesting, this girl. She was 17, and actually, so is this girl. So, Georgia is about 17 years old when she's writing this. I think she's a senior in high school. We'll see if she graduates later on, but yeah, it's like a few years before she's gonna marry her. I guess more than a few years. I was thinking just a few, but it's 1895. They get married in 1903. The next diary that I have is in 1901, and I think it's written by Ralph, but I'm not sure. So we'll just have to see. So here we go. And I'm telling you, my typing's not going to be good today because my eyes are hurting. But April 1st. Rained, snowed, misted. Sounds like for me today. Froze and thawed. Done all the work as the girl was gone. Received, I never get that word right. Received a letter from Gert and a picture of Granny. I got fooled once. That must be April Fool's Day. I wonder when April Fool's Day started. What's the origin of April Fool's Day? Should we look it up? I don't know if I can. Oh, well, History Channel. Sure. I'll look at the History Channel. April Fool's Day has been celebrated by several centuries by different cultures. Oh, its exact origins remain a mystery. 1582. People who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize at the start of the new year had moved to January 1st and continued to celebrate it during the last week of March. Oh, okay. So they switched the calendar. People who didn't know what was going on, they were the April Fools. Kick me signs. Okay, that's interesting. I did not realize this was something that they did all the way back then. Wonder what kind of pranks they were pulling. I wish she told us. She had room. She had a couple extra lines. She could have told us who fooled her. Fair and warm. Thawed. Done all the work as the girl hadn't returned yet. That must be someone who works for their family. I mean, I actually wonder, does anyone remember from last week, did she come home yet? Yeah, she did, because she went to Uncle Dan's twice. She was at Uncle Dan's for a little while, I think. Now she's home. So that must be someone the girl, I know, interesting. It must be like a housekeeper or something. It's very cryptic. She has a name, I'm sure. Yeah, it could be a servant or something. I wonder, let me quickly find her. This is why I keep all these things open, because if I go to her name, I can look as close as possible to the diary year, which would probably be 1900 in the census, and see. Okay, so who they have in their family right now. Hold on. It actually starts on the other page. So that's her dad there. And I guess that I hate when it continues over to another page, but that is her mother. Georgia, that's her. A nephew. This says Samuel. It kind of looks like Daniel to me, but like sometimes Ancestry is not exactly correct here. But I don't know. So that would be her parents' nephew. Her cousin would be living with them. And I don't know if he lives there now. But then they have some boarders, it looks like. Is this all in their house, or is this another family? It's hard to tell. It looks like it's all in one, because there's no other numbers there. And this is Mulberry Street. This is the street that they lived on. So they must have a lot of boarders. I don't think I have a picture of their house. I looked up the address, and it's just like a big commercial looking building now. I'm not sure that it was actually their house. I picture they lived in, like, I don't know, they were pretty well off, so I feel like they lived in a nicer house. But yeah, I don't know. So we have, let's see if we have any other, like, all we have for clues is a girl, but something Campbell, C.B. Campbell, Frank J. Campbell, Frank Mahavy, Georgia Goddard, and someone named Schofield. So there are some women. How about I check? Do we have 18? Is there 1890 on here? I have 1880, but I don't think they were living in the same place. And I think they moved. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so they have a couple of boarders, different people. This is in LaPorte City, though. This is not in the same house, so. Wonder. I'd like to know more about that. Does anyone know off the top of their head, are there usually 1890 census on Ancestry, or is that one of them that's missing? You think there are, or that it's missing? I'll search for it if you think they're there. I'm going to click on her dad. You found a few, okay. So I must just not have, we must have not added it to here yet. So I'll search, which it's working, it's just taking some time. This is her dad. We're going to click on census and voter lists. (1850, 1860, 1860). There's probably an easier way to do this. 1895. That's. There we go. Okay. Open that up. No sound. Oh, that's because I'm not talking. It says no sound detected. I thought something was wrong. Is this the one I just opened? 1880? No, it's this one. Oh, this is just information. I don't know. I might have to dig for it. Hi, Elise. All right. Well, if anyone wants to find that and send it on the Discord, feel free. But I'm feeling like that's a dead end. Oh, hold on. Oh, this was something that Erin shared. Okay. Someone's second cousin. I forget now. Would this be, yeah, this would be Georgia's second cousin. Had their home featured on Better Homes and Gardens in the 1960s. I'll open up the thing. Oh, this is a Find a Grave page, but. Well, they have a very nice obituary. Raised horses. Did it say it in here? Yeah. The home was featured in Better Homes and Gardens magazine. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Hey, Rachel. No, you're not late. We've only read a couple of days. She got fooled on April Fool's Day. That's what you missed. Fair and warm, muddy. Dusted. Oh, and she mentioned a girl who must be a servant or something, or a boarder. Oh, that's funny you say that, because I get, a lot of people tell me I look like her. Not a lot of people, but it's happened to me, like, probably 5 or 6 times now. The majority of the 1890 census was destroyed in a fire. Oh, thank you for that information. I didn't know that, and that's probably why it's harder to find. Okay, dusted, made bed, and helped wash dishes. Went over to Dan Thomas's and spent the day. 16 miles. Something that she likes to do is tell us exactly how many miles away something is and how far she had to travel to get back home. Did I mess up? Oh, I put April 8th, sorry. 3rd. I thought we were not that far. When I said, Rachel, we haven't gotten many days, I looked up and it was the 8th, and I was like, wow. Fair and warm. Made beds. And tended the baby. I don't know who the baby is. Went home. And came back 26 miles. I'm confused. Went downtown twice and up to Mary's. She talks about Mary's a lot. So if she went home and came back, where was she? Yeah, okay, maybe she was babysitting. She is very vague with her writing. Yeah, I have no idea who the baby is. But that would make sense. Maybe it's a Thursday. Oh, she's on school vacation right now. She had like a couple weeks off of vacation. Maybe she's babysitting. Is that something that people did in the 1890s? Oh, I gotta do the day. Has she an Aunt Mary? Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe she's watching. Yeah, maybe Aunt Mary. I don't know if she has an Aunt Mary, though. Let's go back. How do I get back to that tree? I think we may have looked for her already. Because she's mentioned Mary before, but maybe we didn't think it was an aunt before. She's got Ezra, Angeletta, George, Martha, Myron, Anna, Ezra. Wait, what? Did we figure that out already? That Sophia's sister married Martin's brother? Or is that just... Is that a mistake? I forget if we've noticed that before. We don't know who this is yet. Her name is Georgiana Newton. That's all we kind of know. But I got this diary. It was donated to us because I did another diary project and we returned it to the descendants. So there was a newspaper article written about the project, and someone who read the article donated these diaries to us in hopes that we can do the same thing to them. But yes, Mary could be a middle name. That's quite common, that we find just people who go by their middle name. She's also, she's talked about aunts and uncles, and they're actually great aunts and uncles, so it's like really hard to pin it down. I don't see anyone off the top of my head named Mary, but I don't know. I think I looked at that. Have they not got different parents, the Newton men? Okay, let's check. Because they're both named Ezra. That's too much of a coincidence. Mary could be a nickname, definitely, and then we're just out of luck. They might have different parents. There's a great aunt that goes by Mary. Oh, please find her. I, right now, can't remember. He doesn't have any people attached to him. But let's see. Oh, the real way to find out would be just to look at the birth dates. I'm sorry, I'm like a little bit slow tonight. 1855 to 1935. Let's see. Where is the tree? Here. Yeah, it's the same guy. That is weird. I think it's the same guy. But we don't know for sure because it says about. So we just haven't connected it yet. We'll have to look into that. It's spelled differently, slightly. Okay. I'll start a list. I'll put it on my phone. Ezra. Okay. Now we're going to read, what day are we on? The 5th. So, fair and warm. Yeah, it's kind of like Edna's and Ezra's. Made beds, cleaned lamps and lanterns. Ironed. Went to call on Mrs. C. J. Osborne. 2 miles. Took eggs to market and went after molasses. Took baby riding. Helped do the work. I wonder if she's not at home and she's staying, I don't know. Is she staying somewhere else and helping them over her school vacation? Sometimes the people who did the census were illiterate. I've seen it with my own family tree. Oh, interesting. They mess up a lot. Right now, I feel illiterate. Cloudy. Rained. The work, I'm assuming, is housework. Because she says it often when she's like, oh, I ironed and did the dishes and helped do the rest of the work, or did the work. So, I think. I don't know. I think that's what it's referring to. Yeah, or maybe horse riding. I know, it's confusing. I just like type it and let it go. But yeah, she talks about horse riding a couple of times in the like last couple of months. So I'm assuming that's what she means. Okay, cloudy, rained, and had a thunderstorm. Made beds. Done all the work as the girl went away. Yes, that's true. Many families had hired girls. They also had boarders that were on the census, so it could be something like that. But I don't know if that's her house. I mean, it might be, and maybe because that person is not there to do all the work, she's doing it because she's not in school. Went to SS, which is Sunday school, 8 miles. Went for a horseback ride, 2 miles. Went down to Uncle Dan's in the evening and played and sang for them. I think I saw something in the newspaper when I was looking her up about playing the piano. Came home 12 miles. Rained in morning. Cloudy all day. First day of school. Walked over the river. Went to school. So we have pictures of, first of all, she was talking about going to Uncle Dan's. We have pictures of Uncle Dan. He's actually her great uncle and his farm. So I'm assuming this is where she went. And then we have pictures of her school. That's her school. And then we also have pictures of the river, which is what she's talking about crossing. I just got a Discord message. Let me see. Oh, the live keeps freezing. Did we figure out who Mary was? No, we haven't yet figured out who Mary was. I'll type it too. We did figure out who Aunt Ad is, yeah. I'll show her. That is right here. So, Aunt Ad is probably Aunt Adeline, who is Uncle Dan's wife. Let me go back and make sure you guys can see. There it is. So we've got Uncle Dan and Aunt Adeline. Oops. This one. Okay. Fair and warm. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it bigger. Went to school. Went over to the B, C, R, and N. It was N, right? I know we figured it out last time and I forgot. An N train was up to Mary's twice. Wrote essay. Thank you. Because now that's one of those things that, because I got it wrong in the beginning and we fixed it, now I'm always going to get it wrong because I'll always second guess myself. Wrote essay, a essay. Oh, she wrote a essay on the best oil for squeaks. I feel like that. This one is definitely an N. Last time it was a little vague and it looked like it might have been a W. I remember. The best oil for squeaks. That is a very interesting essay. I wish we could read it. Went to school. Fair and warm. Does anyone know the best oil for squeaks? WD-40. Went for a little walk. She writes an essay on Louisa May Alcott, famous author, and then writes an essay on the best oil for squeaks. People in the 1890s were on something else. I know, I wonder what the best oil for squeaks was then. If we look in an old newspaper, I bet there'd be a lot of ads for stuff like that. And the best oil for squeaks could probably also cure everything else if you drank it, according to the ad. That's how everything was back then. Wrote a letter to Kate, went over to Mary's. She was like 17-ish. Oh, cool. Thanks, Kelsey. I didn't realize you were still in here with us. That railway has been turned into a biking nature trail. That is so cool. The last diary that we read through, we called it the Weatherman Diary, but the family name was Delaney. It was Todd Delaney and his wife Edna. Their family was really centered around the railroad, and a lot of them worked for the railroad, and they were in Cedar Rapids, so they worked for the, oh crap, I forget the name, but it was a railroad down there. He was a station agent. Some of them worked for the Crandic, but it wasn't that one. I don't think that Todd worked for. Northwestern? I don't remember. One of them. Fair and warm, went to school. Yeah, went riding. About 3 miles. Went and called Mrs. O.K. Maynard. What does the W-E-A and T-H-E-R on the pages stand for? We went back and forth about this one of the first times we were reading this diary because it looks like it says weather, like split up into 2 parts, and it's very confusing. But it's actually, yeah, thank you. It's weather and thermometer, or something to do with like thermal something, because it's, I think it's thermometer, because it's a place for you to write what the weather was like and a place for you to write the temperature. She doesn't do that in her diary, but other diaries, because these were like mass-produced. I mean, I say mass-produced, but I don't really know how many they produce, but they're definitely like not handmade, they're commercial. and it's tiny. But other people who have this same diary for sale online, the people who wrote them did fill out the weather and the temperature. Yeah, I know. Todd would love a diary like that. I feel like the diary pages are just too small. If you like transcribing, you can volunteer at the National Smithsonian. Someone had told me that before, and I forgot it, because all the chats disappear when I stop doing this, when I, like, go offline, so I forget. I'm going to write it down, though. I like transcribing this kind of stuff on my own, though, because then I can also do the research for it. But yeah, that's a good way to volunteer. Yeah, everyone loved the weather back then. It was really important. Especially if you were a farmer. It's interesting. It's like, and I say this every time, but the weather is such a uniting topic, because even today, you don't know what to talk about, you talk about the weather. Okay. Fair and warm. She says that a lot. Went downtown. I do this as a volunteer. I don't get paid for this. This is like, I mean, right now I'm not really doing anyone a service as a volunteer, but the other diaries we did, it was worth it to go through, read, research, because I am sending the diaries back to a descendant. Like, we figured out that there was actually a great-grandson alive who, is related to the diary writer, so I guess that would be... I think it's the best hobby to have, too. It's fun. But yeah, I'm not really... No one's really, asking me to do this. It's just for fun. Went to school. I'm actually still... We finished the Weatherman Diaries, the one that I was just talking about, that we found a descendant. We finished reading them a few weeks ago, because we've been reading this one, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks. But I haven't finished taking... I want to take, high-quality pictures of all of the pages of that diary, just in case we ever find more, or we want to do more research on it. So I have to finish doing that so I can send them to him, because I know he's, waiting. But I think he's excited. I'm excited to actually get them to him. But I did an interview with him, and it's on my YouTube page if anyone's interested in checking that out, because he was really, it was really cool to listen to his story. His name's Jim. Okay, Erin found her. Mary is Ezra Newton's second wife. They married when they were in their 70s. Okay, so that... Okay, is that her, though? Because... Oh, okay, yep. You read my mind, Erin. Oh, that can't be right. They married in 1928. Okay. So, we'll keep looking. But that's... You're on a good hunt. Yeah, thank you, Jake. This diary was donated to us because of the other one that we were reading. The Cedar Rapids Gazette in Iowa wrote an article about it as we were searching for a descendant. And someone who read the article reached out to me and said, I have this set of diaries that I haven't really done anything with, if you want them. So he donated them to us. You did a deep dive on your family. My great-grandfather had 3 wives, and that no one knew about? Oh, wow. Maybe one day somebody in 2355 will read my diaries and laugh. Yeah, I know. It's weird to think about. Diaries were definitely written differently back in these days, though, because there's much less emotion tied to the entries. I feel like nowadays when we write in our journals, it's so much it's so based in emotion and feelings and relationships and stuff, but back then it was more just documenting day-to-day stuff. Yeah, I love the ones from Anglesey too. She'll always be my number one. I have her diary right here. If anyone is here because of Anglesey and wants to ask some questions, feel free, because I'll never stop talking about her. Okay. Fair and morning. Windy and had a sandstorm. I actually have a funny entry that I'm about to post for Anglesey. I'm still doing research on it to try to find as many pictures of the people as I can. I always like to do that. That's my favorite thing. And I haven't finished the one of hers. I'm about to post one of the entries where there's this guy, Wally, who's after her. She has 1 million guys after her, but Wally takes her out and they go and sit at the yacht club, and she says that he said he liked her, and she foolingly said, I don't believe you. And he got all upset and ran home and wanted to leave. And then somehow, like, later on in the nighttime, she went out with somebody else and came home, and Wally was hiding in the bushes. Oh, I thank you. Yeah. She's like, I have to say, I love Anglesey, but she's like kind of toxic. She's like, oh, I don't believe you, because she knows this guy's writing love poems for her. Like, there's literally love poems folded into the diary. She was ahead of her time. And she knew it, I think. But yeah, her diary is like, it's like, I'm so glad that people are interested in it. Yeah, she knows she has all these men wrapped around her finger exactly, and it kind of goes to her head. My favorite thing is there's a boy who's mentioned in the book a lot named Alden. He goes on to write a biography of Anglesey's future brother-in-law. So Buckminster Fuller is like a famous architect and designer, and he marries Anglesey's sister. So because he's kind of like a famous guy, Alden, his friend, writes a book about him later on in life. And he writes a chapter about like how Bucky and Anne met, and so he's talking about Anglesey, and his description of Anglesey is hilarious. And, you know, when I first read through the diary, that's all I had of her to, like, figure out her personality was her own account of how things went down. And I still felt like I knew, like, oh, she's definitely, like, into the drama. And just by reading the book, like, his account of her, it's so funny. He's like, yeah, you know, I was in love with her. All the guys were in love with her, but we were all afraid of Link because he was in love with her and she loved him back. And that's exactly what we see in the diary. She doesn't marry Link, though. She marries another guy. But yeah, I'm glad a lot of you in here know her story, because that's what started this whole thing. But I would love a job at the Smithsonian. I like my job, but it is fun, and I'm glad I can share it. She would have loved 2023 with her boy drama. I know, she'd be all over TikTok. April 13th is your birthday. Happy diary birthday. Okay, we'll keep going. Fair in morning, windy, and had a sandstorm. Went in country. If any of you are really into Anglesey's story and you missed that, over the summer I went to the museum that was her, 1995. You're almost, I was born in 1997. A couple years older than me. So, what was I just saying? Anglesey's family's summer home, which was like passed down in her family, Rock Hall, is now a museum on Long Island, because the family donated the property to the town of Hempstead or Lawrence or something in the 40s. So it became a museum, and I went there over the summer, and they had me give a presentation on Anglesey's diary, and it was really fun. And what I was trying to say is, if you missed that, I have the recording on my YouTube page. So if you like Anglesey's story, there's like some stuff in the presentation that I haven't gotten to in the TikTok videos. A lot about Wally, so you can get like a sneak peek at stuff that hasn't been on there yet. 4404. Nice. That's lucky. 4 must be your lucky number. Okay. Went in country. 12 miles. Went to Uncle Dan's. Hunted eggs. And someone's going to ask me about hunted eggs. We think that just means free-range chickens. Because a lot of people are going to say, oh, Easter, but she does it even way before Easter, so I think it means, like, the chickens laid the eggs and she had to go find them. Or, I don't know, ducks? I don't know. Went after... Wash. I don't know, usually male, yeah, thank you, that's male. Because I was going to say usually went after something means she's trying to find it, and yep. And you know what's funny? You probably all think I'm crazy because I thought that was a W. You know why I think that's a W? Well, it kind of does look like one, but Anglesey in her diary, her M's and W's and N's and U's are all over the place. So, sometimes I'll automatically read that as a W, even though it's more clearly, it does look like an M, but whatever. Okay, no, Graham always said hunted eggs. A lot of times they went up in the hayloft. Oh, okay, thank you. I needed someone to tell me that, because that was just a hunch that we had. Mostly taking info from the diary and using sites. Yeah, okay, so the question, I had kind of missed it because of where did you do your research? I do all of my research just at home. Like, it's a hobby. But a lot of sites like Ancestry, Find a Grave, newspapers.com, that's how I find my information. And the museum, that just was like really lucky that the person who wrote this diary happened to be, she was a socialite. Her family was pretty well off, and her father was a well-known architect and muralist. So their home, and they had a really nice like home that was passed down. The home has a lot of history besides just their family too. It goes like all the way back. So it just so happened that their house is a museum now, and it was really cool. Like, I went there too, and learned a lot about the family by like the artifacts that were there and the other records. So been trying to use Ancestry to research my family history. I really like Ancestry. I've had good luck on there. If you have a list of sites to check out, definitely look at Find a Grave. Family Search is another one. I don't use that as like my primary research website because sometimes it can be a little bit hard to search in my opinion, but Family Search is free, so it's always worth a look. One bad thing about Ancestry is if you're adopted, there's little to no records. That's a great point. And I got the diaries, the first diary that I got, the one that I was just talking about with the museum, I got that one in an estate sale. It was just like a really lucky find because I've never found one at an estate sale again. But I got the others, the Weatherman diaries, which we are returning to descendants that we just finished. I got those on eBay. And then these diaries that we're reading now, it's like a set of 6 of them. Those were donated to us because of the other ones. So when I was reading the ones from eBay and searching for descendants, there was an article written about the project in the newspaper, and someone read that article and was like, oh, I have some diaries, and reached out to me and donated them. So that's where these came from. But yeah, mostly eBay is where I would look if you're like looking for them, but you just have to kind of wait for one to come around at a reasonable price because a lot of them are ridiculous. Family Search is pretty good for general purpose like Family Tree, but Ancestry you can really dive. Yeah, definitely. I've heard that the Family Search app is better than the computer version, like the desktop version too. I'm not sure. I've only ever really used the desktop version. That's where I do all my research. I cannot do anything on my phone. It's like too small. And there's too many tabs you need open at once. I have like 50 tabs open right now. You can't do that on your phone easily, so. And I hate the Ancestry app. So if you're getting, if you're thinking of doing Ancestry, you should, but use it on the computer. Even the iPad app, it's bigger, but I feel like it's so, like, hard to use. You can only be looking at one tree at a time. It's like really, I don't like it. I can never be sure that I'm seeing everything there, you know? And you agree, that's good. So I'm not alone here. They need to improve that because you pay enough for Ancestry, right? It's ridiculous. Went to Sunday school and church. 8 miles. The lead are not always a match. I know. You can say ignore, but I don't even bother doing that. It's nice to have them, but I do find it's worth it, especially if you're like, I don't know, some of these trees that I make, I'm just like adding these crazy distant relatives to someone in the diary, so I'm not really super concerned with finding every little fact about a person. But if you're like really, really deeply researching this person, it's always worth it to actually search it and not just rely on the leaves, because those can be wrong. Especially if you have someone in the family with the same name. It can get so confusing. No. I don't even know what just happened there. Monday, April 15th. Cloudy and windy. Cold. Went to school. Went downtown twice. Wrote a letter to GL. Went to Christ C and saw the bride. Oops, I'll fix that after. And groom, who was Grace Fisher. What a weird way to phrase that. And Roy Nichols. That is a weird way to say that. Anyways, let's figure out who they were. So I'm going to look up Grace Fisher. Roy Nichols. We're in April. 1895. In Black Hawk County. Cool. Okay, so this is their wedding. Last evening's Marshallton Times Republican has the following. In Christ Church at Waterloo, which is where this woman lives, at 4 o'clock this afternoon occurs the marriage, this is before, of Roy J. Nichols, one of the most popular young clothing salesmen in Iowa. Wow. That's a title. And Miss Grace Fisher, one of Waterloo's brightest and most accomplished young ladies. That's so sweet. Mr. and Mrs. Nichols will make a short trip to Chicago and the eastern cities, but will commence housekeeping May 1st in a brand new house at Waterloo and will be at home to their friends on Thursdays in May. Interesting. Roy has been on the road for the past 2 years for Clement Bain & Co. of Chicago and has made a host of friends among his fellow traveling men who will be glad to join with us in extending our heartiest congratulations to the happy couple. That's very cute. So what I do is I grab this I just took a little screenshot there, and I'm going to paste it into our April. I'm going to move it later when I organize and copy and paste. I know, it is crazy that we can find them, and that's my favorite part of all of this. Is finding articles of the people who are in the diary and pictures and stuff like that. So let's see. There was actually one more search result too. I'm going to insert a link so that I can get back to that if I need to. And this is all on my website too, so you guys can, if you want to do this research too, if you want to click on it, there's another article. So this one, to be married. Dainty invitations were issued yesterday. I love this, how specific. Announcing the marriage on Monday, April 15th of Roy Nichols to Miss Grace, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. W. Fisher. Ceremony will occur at Christ Church at 4 p.m. The bride is one of Waterloo's most favorably known young ladies, and the groom-to-be is a first-class young man. He represents the well-known clothing house of Clement Bain & Co. and has hosts of friends among our people. That is sweet. Okay, let's look up Clement Bain. See how we can easily get into a rabbit hole? Clement Bain & Co. Clothing. I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. How about if we look up... Let's see if we can find an old ad. Oh, there's more articles about them, their marriage. I wonder if these are duplicates. Oh, cool. That's like someone announcing that they're going to the wedding. Looks like they're all saying pretty much the same thing. I would love to know how my town newspaper would describe me. That's funny. I have an 1857 Bible, and I need to research on the name. Yeah, that's cool. Bibles, old Bibles can be are very valuable with family research a lot of times, because that's where people kept like lists of birth dates, death dates, family trees. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh, my eyes are killing me. I've been staring at a screen all day for work. Usually, I'm not doing this kind of work. I was doing like professional development today, and it was like hard on my eyes. My family Bible has tons of family info dating back to 1799, 1800. That is really cool. I don't have anything that old. fair and warm, went to school, went downtown, after school, went riding to the park, and other places, about 5 miles. Yeah, so it's not clear if she's always horseback riding or if she's riding a bike. But my family immigrated to Canada in 1795. Cool. So they probably, that's cool, they took the Bible with them. Yeah, that's awesome that you know that far back, that you have something from that far back. When I started on Ancestry, I found a picture of my great-grandfather that nobody... I mean, we have pictures of him, but no one had seen that one. Because it was a passport picture. So that was cool. But it's not from that long ago. Fair and warm, went to school, went downtown, was excused at 3, and went to the Mason Hall and helped them a while. Went downtown again, and oh yeah, it is. It just says it later too. Went downtown again and up to Mary's. Went down to the hall again in the evening to hear the program. The LP people were invited up. Okay, so to break this down a little, we know a little bit about this. Her father was involved in the Masons. She was involved in the Order of the Eastern Star, which is related to the Masons. And the LP people are probably the Laporte people, because she calls Laporte LP. And I'm assuming that must mean like their branch of the Masons came to the program. Oh, cool. Records going back to 1500. Nice. I was able to find a lot of records on my French side of the family on Ancestry. I think they were, like, the French, I think, were really good at keeping records, but my Portuguese side of the family kind of stopped dead after my great-grandparents. It's, like, hard to go further back. Fair and warm. Went to school. After school, well, I guess she had a comma there. I went riding about 8 miles. I think it's very interesting that she always puts the mileage in parentheses. Even when, unless she's saying, I went riding about 8 miles. Like, maybe she means just went riding about, like, all different places. I don't know. That could be what she means. Maybe that's why. April 19th. Fair and warm. Went to school. Went downtown. Went to Grandpa's. 12 miles. Went after the mail. Read my essay. Read my essay on, quote, the best oil for squeaks. At Rhetoricals. That must be like a class on, I don't know, like reading it. It says Rhetoricals, so she must have practiced like her reading, public speaking maybe? I don't know. How old was she when writing this diary? Yeah, she was 17-ish. Thanks, Jake. You're like my assistant tonight. Okay. Saturday, April 20th. Fair in morning. You know what? I haven't checked the Discord in a while. Hold on, because I thought I heard it go off, and I did. Okay. So, the Discord that I'm talking... Oh, it's frozen? Okay. I'll wait. I'll open it up and wait. Oh, no. What is this? Oh, Jen, I don't think I can open this. Do you see my cat? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, you had to open the... Okay, it's back. Buffered a bit. Sorry, sometimes... I don't know. Did you see my cat? Where was he? Yeah, Jen, sorry, I can't open it. I don't know. I think it's because I'm not logged in to ProQuest or something. I don't know if you can send a different link. Ancestry is very picky. I can't even... I know. I need to switch to... He went under... Oh, it's a couch. We just have a blanket on it. He went under there. We have 2 kitties. So one is Claude. He's fluffy. He's out on top of a our TV like coffee table thing right now. So he's not under the couch, but Basil probably is. Basil is short hair, and she's more elusive. She hides. All right, I'll keep going. Fair in morning, cloudy in afternoon. I'm in my basement right now. This is like our basement TV room. It looks like they made the top floor of the Masonic Temple into loft apartments. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Can you, oh, you can't send a link on here. It won't let you. It'll delete it. But if you can send it to my Instagram, or if you're on Discord, there's a link to my, I have like a free Discord that's for announcements that like I post when I'm going live on there and stuff, just as a reminder. You can, if you have Discord, you can join that and send, or you can at least send it to my account. The other Discord that I'm talking about is the Patreon subscriber Discord, and that's like where we really get into stuff. But the other one is at least for, you know, reminders, announcements, sharing. I know. So the Discord link in my bio on TikTok is weird. And even though I make it so that it will never expire, it won't work. It's something to do with TikTok. So you have to join. It's annoying, and I'm sorry, but there's no other way. You have to go to my like website and join it, or to my Instagram and then to the link tree and join it. It's all on both things, but I don't know why. How many times have I made a new link on the TikTok one, and it always says it's, I don't know. Oh yeah, put in www to get to so the website is www.thingslostandfound.com. And if you go there, you should be able to, I'll actually check, because I don't know where exactly. This is the website. And if you click here, this will be like the regular Discord. And it'll be, oh, it went away, hold on. I think it just added me to my own Discord. Anyways, that's where you'll find it. And then the Patreon one is where the other Discord is. So if you're like interested in joining the other one, you do it through Patreon. But you can definitely get to that other link that just says Discord if you want to message. And then just let me know if you send something that you want shared, because I sometimes don't hear it. Okay, let's keep going. 20th of April. Fair in the morning, cloudy in the afternoon. Sprinkled a little. I think it's kind of funny that someone in 1895... Oh, sorry. I think it's funny that someone in 1895 says sprinkled. Cleaned the yard, and then went over to see Etta. If you still can't join... Yeah, TikTok is really funky all the time. But if you still can't join it, you can message me on Instagram. Just send me your name on Discord and I can add you. 2 miles. Help do the dishes. I want to know who Etta is. She's been mentioned a couple of times. Let me go back now and see. Okay. Too many tabs. Okay. Sunday, April 21st. Cloudy and windy. Help do the work. It's interesting that she says it like that. Yeah, TikTok is like the past few weeks has just been awful. I already did that. Went to SS, that's Sunday school, 8 miles. Went home, 12 miles. Okay. I think I might eventually switch to doing either YouTube Live or Twitch. We'll see. Christina in my diaries is always talking about going to SS2. That is funny. So Rachel is one of the Patreon subscribers. She's in our little group, our research group. And a lot of people who have joined have started to bring their own diary projects in there, and we research together. And that's cool that Christina also calls it SS. There's a lot of abbreviation in these old diaries, probably because they're small. But if you think about like the Weatherman diaries, they called everything like CR. She's saying LP. I'm dying to know how it's an extra 4 miles home. Yeah, unless she visits Grandpa after SS. I don't know. Or maybe she takes a different route home. I think we were wondering about that. Another, I don't know if it was last time, but another one we were reading. We were wondering that too. Okay, fair and warm. Went to school, went downtown, and up to Mary's. She visits Mary's a lot. Oh, nice. Happy Wednesday. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great service here. Always going down or up to somewhere, yeah. Did you pick him up?
Yeah.
Bring him over here.
No, he doesn't want to
Oh,
be picked up right now.
come here. Hi, come here. He's like, what? You don't have any treats? Basil. Maybe you guys will see her.
Smells like cats down here.
Can you move your chair?
Yes.
Ah. No one will see the messy basement though, but the cats are walking around back here. I'm in the way. Ah! Like there. Now you move, Ian. So they can see them. There they are. Meow. He wants food so bad. He always wants food. I know. Oh, your cat's joining now. Awesome. Yeah, I fed them.
There's only a small amount of food.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why.
they want you to sit next to them so that you can watch them eat. Aww. His little meow. It kills me. Thank you. It's from Kohl's. It's Crayola and Kohl's did a collab. I had to do it. All my art teacher friends were telling me about it. So I went and got myself a little fleece. And I get so many compliments when I wear it to work because it's like the perfect art teacher outfit. Okay. Fair and warm. Went to school. Went over the river and through the woods. Downtown. And then went walking. Over the river and through the woods to Grandpa's house. 2 miles. We go. Or Uncle Dan's house, maybe. Fair and warm. Went to school. Was excused at 2:45 and took the main sure. Ooh, I have no idea what that says. Sounds almost like a Red Riding Hood story, yeah. I was thinking that, oh yeah, maybe that's Maeve. I was thinking of the Christmas song. Is that a Christmas song? Or just a winter song? Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Yeah. You don't need me to sing, but that one. That might say Maeve. And took. Yeah, I don't know where I got the from, but that's not there. So that makes it a little bit more sense. And took. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Someone slur. This is gonna be hard because it's so like faded. SL. I don't know. And then I see a EU something. AS. ES? I have no idea. Shoemaker? How can you read that? I think it says shoemaker. Good job. Maybe when it's smaller on the screen, it's like easier to not get caught up in the details. I'm pretty sure that says shoemaker. What a last name. Thank you. I never would have gotten that. Sometimes after people correct me, I'm like, oh yeah, I would have eventually, no, I would have never seen that. So thank you. Shoemaker. Way to go. Okay. And went to the halfway woods. Afterwards. After flowers. Oh, they went to the woods to get flowers. What's the halfway woods? That sounds like a Red Riding Hood story. Or like Winnie the Pooh, the halfway woods. Eva. Sure. I'm gonna need help here. So good. Sherman. Thank you. Endora Cushman called on me. Look at that D. Oh, Shermount. I think that's a plus sign. But I can see that. I think she's saying and. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Bless you. Fair and warm. Every day it's fair and warm. Went to school. Went with Miss Herman. What do we think? Hillman? Your Gma writes and that way. I write the ampersand usually. Herman. Hillman. Herman. Yeah, diary day. Herman. Ehrman. Oh, we've got lots of different. Let's write Herman Hillman for now. Up the river after flowers. Okay. We went to 3 different islands. Oh, so they actually went on the river. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, it does look like an eye. Like a dot of an eye. They're going to pick flowers on different islands. That's very cute. This the wedding day, I think. Oh. Wait, whose wedding day? Because maybe they're picking flowers for a wedding? Did I miss that? Alice Kern called on me. First time I was ever in a small boat. She's so cute. And you know what's even cuter about that? the diary that like started my whole obsession with this, the one from Anglesey from 1917, she also mentions I wonder if I can find the entry because she had a postcard in it here. This one, I think it's this one. She rode a boat. She was on a boat to go to Maine, and there's a postcard in it. And she says on it, she goes, first night on a boat. Like, she, like, makes a note, first night on the boat. And then she does first night on a train. And it's just cute that they both are the same age, and they're both making those little, like, first time I was ever on a small boat. So do you think she's ever been on a big boat? And this is just cool because it's a small boat, or is this the first time ever on a boat? It's very specific. She's good. She's very particular. Just like Anglesey. The little parentheses, the mileage, the specification of the small boat. It's just funny. Okay. What are these? Oh, hi, Audra. I'm glad you didn't miss it either. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but the couple that was getting married in the article said... yeah, but I think... Let me go back. I think that article wasn't from the same day, because I think she said she went to the church to see them get married. Now, do I even remember? Let's see. I'm trying to... Best oil for squeaks. That is funny. Here it is. April 15th. Went to school, wrote a letter, went to Christ Church and saw the bride and groom. Yeah, I think that was the day they got married. She does seem to go to school more regularly than Anglesey. But you know what I learned about Anglesey? Because I know Anglesey hated school, and she was always late, and she tried to not go, and she was always, like, sick and didn't go to school. But her school schedule was kind of weird. Like, I found out more about the school when I did a little bit of research when I went to Brooklyn. And they had, like, a kind of a strange schedule, and their afternoons were more, like, were different every day, and it ended, I think, at, like, 1:25. So I think sometimes when she didn't go back to school after lunch, she was actually just, like, skipping one lesson or something, or the lessons were supposed to be done at home, and she didn't do them. So I think we can cut her a little bit of slack, but it does seem like she's never in school. They also started school later and had, like, bigger breaks, too. But I actually have an old school program that the Brooklyn Center for Brooklyn History sent to me, which is really cool. And it talks about all of the, like, dates that school's in session and the events and the tuition and everything. It's awesome. And there's actually, I thought the most interesting part was their contagious disease policy. Because, like, looking at that now when we just went through COVID is very interesting. To think, like, in 1917 they were doing the same thing, and they were right on the cusp of having to go through the Spanish influenza, so I didn't even know that was coming. Okay. Friday, April 26th. Fair and warm. Went to school. Went downtown. Went to Grandpa's. 12 miles. I keep meaning to find, I want to put on my list that I want to find Grandpa's house. Because I know which Grandpa she's talking about, probably, but I don't have the house address. Maybe the house is still there. We've gotten lucky before with finding the old houses in the diary, so you never know. It's going to be hard to find relatives because I don't think that she had any children. And she doesn't have any siblings. Fair and warm. Went to the stove. Went to the stove? A store. And to Uncle Dan's. Helped do the work. I think at Uncle Dan's, the work is like farm work. Hunted eggs. Fair and warm. Helped do the work. Went to church and SS, Sunday school, 8 miles. Went to Uncle Dan's and sang and played. Came home 12 miles. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she takes one form of transportation to get to Uncle Dan's and a different one home, and that's why it's a different mileage. I don't know. Monday, April 29th. Cloudy and warm. Sprinkled a little. Sun shone a while. In the afternoon. Went to school. I really wish that she had children who might have pictures of her. I'm just like in my head right now thinking, oh, probably no one has pictures of this woman. Fair and warm. Went to school. Went downtown and to Mary's. And that's it. The writer of the diary is 17 about. I don't think that, I don't know, actually. I haven't looked up the school for yearbook pictures. That's a good point. I don't know if any schools that far back did that, but we could, okay, so it's East Side High School. There is on Ancestry, there's, as you probably know because you do Ancestry, but they have like a database of yearbooks. Oh, stop. I'm gonna go to all collections. You can like actually browse just each collection. So sometimes I'll look, especially for the Anglesey Diaries. Oh, you guys can't see this. Hold on. Especially for the Anglesey Diaries, I look at passport applications a lot because a lot of her families, what am I talking about? A lot of her friends, families, I'm like getting really tired. A lot of her friends were wealthy enough to be able to travel a lot, so they all had passports and they had their pictures in them. So I'm going to click on U.S. school yearbooks. Let's look for, let's see if they have, well, I could look up her name first. Oh, she wouldn't be Slippy, should be. Newton. Born in, I think, 18... What's Grace? 1878, 1952. No good search results. Sometimes maybe Georgia. Georgia A. Newton. That's not her. No, these are all way too late. Okay, so not here, but yeah, I don't really know where else to look. Would she have been in school still in 1900? I don't think so. I think she, unless she went off to college, which I don't know, I think she's graduating this year from East Side High School. So now I guess, because sometimes they'll have like yearbooks, but they're not fully transcribed. So now I could go back and instead of searching her name, sometimes they'll just put like G. Newton, you know. So instead of putting her name, I'll search, I'll see if they have the school. Iowa, Waterloo. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on. Oh, I didn't know the collection started in 1900. I didn't know that. Well, we have East High School, but that's not actually the same school. She's East Side High School. Yeah, because East Side High School burned down in 1915, and then I think it became East High School. We can still look at an old yearbook of it. That's kind of cool. Look at 1928. Oh, it's too bad that we don't have anything from her year, or it's too bad she didn't graduate later on. Oh, is this it, though? Do they not have, like, anything in here? Oh, I think it's frozen. Okay, this is 1929. Why is it not loading? Am I frozen too on the TikTok thing? I don't think so. I don't know if she went to college. We haven't found that out about her yet. I don't know why this is like not... I'm clicking and it's not going. You refresh it. We'll try that. Okay, here we go. I just love old yearbooks. That's how we found a picture of Edna Delaney from the other diary. Look at this, like, really, really tilted picture. Oh, it's too bad she didn't, like, teach there after or something. In her tongue is the law of kindness. Your hopes and friends are infinite. I love that she signed that. That's an interesting name. Maida Camp. Look at the hair. Marjorie Comfort. Elmer Diekman. He's got interesting... Oh my gosh, he's got interesting hair. I bet that there are people who she's like, who she knows, or, you know, who she maybe mentions in the diary, who show up in these old yearbooks. Everyone had the finger waves. Oh, Wilbur Grove, if the party's dull, then I suppose it's time for me to interpose. How do I share my computer screen on TikTok? Yeah, actually, Jake, I was just thinking the same thing. If we ever get the baby's name, I bet they're in there. Yeah. How do you share the computer screen? I'm on, like, TikTok's desktop version of streaming, like, equipment program. You download it. It takes some getting used to, definitely. But it's better than the setup I had before, which was me with my phone. Hey, Carrie! Me with my phone, and then it's showing the computer, and it was like really hard to get everything showing at once, so this works better, but it takes time. Let's see. I don't know. We finished reading through the month, so now I'm just kind of poking around. This is... Oh, a Delaney. No, that says DeLong. This is the yearbook, one of the yearbooks of the school that the diary writer goes to, but it's way after she was there. Ida, Jess, Mary, Frances, Grace with a Y, Lolita. Yeah, it is. Thank you. I like seeing it too. I like the finger waves too. It's in every single girl. It's hilarious. You can see what was in style, you know? The men too, their hair all looks very slick. Those glasses, you're seeing a lot. Clyman Courtwright. I know, isn't that cool that the senior quotes go back? And they even have, in a lot of these yearbooks from this time, because this is around when Edna Delaney also has her yearbook, they have dedications, or what are they, like, they bequeath something to one of their friends, like, I don't know, they each get a quote to write. Like, I give this person my football, or I don't know. It's weird. Look at him. He looks way older than a senior in high school. A lot of them do, actually. I'm on the same page. Hold on. We'll just flip through. I heard my Discord go off too, so I'm going to check it. Oh. Well, perfect timing for it to stop working again. Yeah, well, not like a superlative. It's like, oh, I don't know. Like, if this girl really liked reading and that's what she was known for in high school, she would say, like, I give my book collection to my best friend. It's just like a little, cute little thing. I don't really know. Because I don't think people do that now in yearbooks, but I don't know if they had superlatives. They had clubs, definitely. Senior wills. Yes, okay, that's what, yeah, that sounds exactly like senior will, like your will and testament. Blossom there looks like, oh, I missed her. I don't know what. Oh, here, Blossom. Yeah. Cute. Okay, yeah, they all have such clear skin. They probably weren't using as many, things with chemicals in them and eating like crap like we do now. I passed on my seat in history class to an underclassman. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so it is a thing. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what I was going to do, Discord, and I heard it going off. Let's see. A couple things in here. We'll look at these things and then we'll call it a night. Okay, Jen sent Alice Kerr. Okay, cool. Alice Kerr was mentioned in one of the entries, and she's got her in a... Is this a census? Yeah. Right. I see Kerr. Oh, they're all... Okay, hold on. Alice. She lives at 1003... Is that an N or a W? Can you guys even see it? Hold on. Yeah, here. Is this an N or a W? N 4th, North 4th Street, West 4th Street. N, okay. 1003 North, what was it? 4th Street. I should do this on Google Earth. I'm going to try W because it says nothing is there. Oh, there is a building at 1003 West 4th Street, but it's no longer a house if it ever was. I mean, there's this one. Ooh, there's some nice houses over here. The nice old houses always turn into funeral homes. Is that a funeral home? It looks like it. Interesting. I like looking around. We used to walk around Fairfax. I'll try N again. It's also possible that that address no longer exists. So maybe if we go to North 4th Street. Can I just like... How did I enter Street View here? Oh, actually, let me look first. 215, 217. We'll go this way and we'll look for like... Oh... I don't think there's any thousands. There's no thousands. So it's probably not that street. I like looking for the houses for sale online, yeah. I wonder, I wish we could find some old pictures, but it's like really hard to track them down of places. But I'm going to look at the Discord again. See what else Jen has for us. And also, Nikki has something for us, too. So, hold on. What is this? Oh, hold on. Seth Newton passes away. Did it open? Open in browser. Former resident at Silver Creek Township, dead at Battle Creek. Seth Newton. Did she talk about a Seth? Seth must be a relative. But did she mention a Seth? I don't even remember. Her grandpa. Oh, thank you. Oh, so I was thinking, when I think of grandpa, I've been like tied to, yes, thank you. So this is Seth Newton, her grandpa. We have a picture of him, so I'll show that too. Oh, not update. I was thinking of this one, the Barry, because I thought he was the one who lived close by, because I think this guy lives in Michigan. So whenever I think of grandpa, I think of him. But yeah, this is, oh, it's really pixelated. I still have to check if you guys can even see it. So there's Seth Newton. That's a cool picture. And then the other grandpa, Samuel Berry. I think I had looked, maybe it was the Newton one that was actually close by, but I had looked, let's look in 1900, see if he's in Waterloo. Yeah, well, he's in Eagle Township. Okay, Eagle Township. I wonder if that's like, ooh, can we find out? Oh, they don't do like addresses back then. I wish they had it because I could find out exactly how many miles. So we're gonna look up, I'm gonna go to maps and I'm gonna look at directions from Mulberry Street, Waterloo, Iowa. That I think must be the address because it's saved. Ooh, look at that map. And then I'm gonna go to Eagle Township and see if it's about 12 miles, I think we're looking for. Oh, Iowa. Oh no, that's not. That's 3 hours away. Okay, so maybe that's not the grandpa we're talking about. Okay, where's the other grandpa? Seth? Where did you live in 1900? You lived... What? Okay, he's not anywhere close either. For Seth, the burial was in LaPorte. Okay, so maybe... It's hard because the census data, it's so far apart. Okay. Wait, for Seth, the burial was in LaPorte? Okay, it looks like he died in Michigan. But he is buried in LaPorte. We're in 1895, so maybe I can check 1880. See if he ever lived in... Okay, he lived in Marshall, Iowa. At one point. Maybe... I'll look that up. Marshall, Iowa. Maybe at the time of the diary he was still there. Still not 12 miles. Was it Marshalltown? Oh, too many tabs. That's the Eagle Township. Oh, should I close it? Marshall. State Center Township. Oh, County of Marshall. No, not that either. Yeah, he could have. Oh, he died in a sanatorium? That's awful. There were a couple of relatives that died of tuberculosis then. Eagle Township is close to LaPorte. Oh, okay, but where is... Okay, so where's LaPorte from? Only like 20 minutes. Where's... Okay, maybe I'm getting something wrong then. So that's about 15 miles to LaPorte. So it makes sense that she's going back and forth there. But isn't she talking about going to Grandpa's and it's 12 miles away? That's like really far. Is there another Eagle Township? Or is LaPorte City different than LaPorte? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure out which grandpa we're talking about here. But it's possible. It seems like the grandfathers especially moved around. And even Georgia and her family, just before this diary, they didn't live here. So everyone's kind of moving around. People might have multiple places. So it might be difficult to track it down. But maybe a lot of times in the newspapers, they'll write like, oh, this person is visiting this person. It could have been a town that's no longer there. They'll talk about like, it is Eagle Township. Okay, sorry, Jen, thank you for reminding me to look at Discord. Oh. Open in browser. Eagle Township. So why isn't it coming up weird for me? There's an Eagle Township. It must be I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she knew other people would be reading her diary. Washburn. It's like here. Weird. It's weird that it doesn't show up for me. Oh well. So that makes sense. That must be him. Which one was that? Now I can't remember. Was that Seth who lived in Eagle Township? Or Barry? Does anyone remember? Eagle Blackhawk. Anx is probably sitting up there nervous. Her boy secrets are coming out. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, I'm sure she's happy. The light she's painted in, she's like very popular, so. Okay. Well, I think with that, we'll call it a night. We read through... Oh, hold on. I just realized I made... Okay, you can still see both things. Okay. Whenever I change stuff a little bit on the desktop, it like messes with it. See? Like that. But we read through the month of April. So I'll work on getting... Hold on. I'll work on getting... that stuff uploaded to the master document that I have going on. That's available on my website if anyone wants to catch up and read. No, I didn't see any pictures of her on Ancestry yet, but we're still doing research. So if you find one, let me know. Oh, you have to put Black Hawk County to get Eagle Township to pop up. Okay. Well, I'll work on putting that stuff on here. I also upload all of my live recaps on YouTube, in case anyone forgets. Or in case anyone misses it, I mean. But I've already gone onto TikTok and scheduled the next live event, which is next Wednesday. I usually go live on Wednesdays. So December 13th, I'm going to be live at 6 p.m. Thanks, Emily. Public Town Library Records. Yeah, that's usually, like, after a while, we'll get down to that. But we've only been reading this one for a little while, so. And honestly, Georgia hasn't given us much to go on, but every single week we find out more. We have more, like, entry points to research her. And we got these diaries. We were doing another diary project, and we were looking for descendants to return the diary to. But a newspaper wrote an article about us when we were doing that, and someone read that article and donated these to us. So this is like the second project where we're going to try to, we'll read it, we'll research it, and then try to give it back to descendants. But yeah. Oh, awesome. I'm glad. So the the thing I was talking about, the live event on TikTok, if you go to my page, it's like below my bio. It says live event. It says today at 6 p.m., but if you click on it, you'll see the next one that's scheduled. Sorry, I don't know where my webcam is. But if you do that, it should send you a notification. I added a link. Oh, okay. I was like so confused, Nikki. Hold on. I added a link in Discord where she was supporting a bill to ban smoking. Okay, I saw that. It was a debate or something. I'm gonna click on it and open it before I go. But yeah, Jake, did you figure out the Discord? But anyways, I'm gonna just click on that quick because Nikki. Oh yeah, Nikki, I meant to click on that and it got lost in the shuffle. Okay, you had sent two things. So the first thing. Yeah, this was a debate team or something, and this was when she graduated. Oh, so maybe she's a junior, because this is 1896, and we're reading 1895, so maybe she's just a junior in high school. Hold on, let me make sure you can see it. Okay, so I want to read this because this is cool. Georgia Newton got after the cigarette in her speech, favoring the passage of a bill for an act to prohibit the manufacture and sale of cigarettes and cigarette wrappers in the state. Her attack on the little coffin nail was marked with earnestness and vigor. She spoke of the evil effects of the tobacco habit and pictured the utter uselessness of the cigarette fiend. Delia Cornwall defended the cigarette and its manufacturer, speaking particularly of the lost business of the state its exclusion would bring. And two, she said, the cigarette is doing a grand And two, she said, the cigarette is doing a grand work of killing off dudes. She thought the work accomplished along with this line ought to convince anyone of the indispensable qualities of the cigarette. And when she said so, an audible smile crept over the audience. In actual defense of the habit, the speaker cited George Washington as a cigarette smoker. So it's like, oh, it's fine to smoke cigarettes because George Washington did. The language is funny, yeah. So yeah, that's like it's an article about, I think, like a debate team, yeah. A pleasing entertainment, yeah. So then the other one, let's see the other one. Killing off dudes. I'm like, what year are we in? Just like kind of astounding sometimes, but. Oh, and this is, I think, did I just click the same one twice? Or is that. I think it's the same day, but a different link too. No, it's different. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this one is something about the Order of the Eastern Star, maybe? Oh, and she plays the organ. Anything else? And that is her father, M.L. Newton. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to call it a night now. But next week, what we're going to do is read through May. That should be exciting. So good night, everybody. If you want to get notified, because TikTok doesn't always tell everyone when I go live, so if you want a notification, sign up on my page, register, or you can join the Discord, and I always like put in a little note there that I'm going to go live. But thanks to everyone who just joined us today. It was nice having you, and thanks for everyone who comes back every week. So see you next time. Have a great week. The Diary Detectives, I'll see you guys in the Discord soon. We have to do our next video chat soon too, so maybe I'll send that right now. We'll come up with a date. All right, bye everybody.